Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of Sash Factor Live Series. My name is Carl Capelan and I'm your host for tonight. I'm very excited because we have one candidate joining Miss Universe Philippines 2021. She hails from Parañaque and she's from a family of uh, artists and sports enthusiasts and athletes. Very timely during the time of the Olympics. So without further ado, I present to you Ingrid Sam Santamaria.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. My name is Ingrid Santamaria, but you guys can call me Sam. Would you like to start with the questions or?
All right, let's fire away. Sam, to begin with, people are calling you Ingrid, people are calling you Sam. So just to clear the air, give us a short background as to why uh, people call you Sam and your name
Actually,
is Ingrid.
yes. Okay, so in my family, the oldest daughter is usually named after the two grandmothers, and the oldest son is named after the two grandfathers. So my full name is actually Maria Ingrid Teresita Palanca Santa Maria, and I'm lovingly named after my two grandmothers. But my mom nicknamed me Sam because she wanted to actually name me Samuela, which means daughter of God. So people fondly call me by my name Sam because I am named after my grandmother Ingrid Santa Maria, and sometimes that does get confusing, but that is my real name, and that's the name I would like to use for this pageant.
All right, thank you. Um, but I'll call you Sam. Is that okay?
You can call me Sam, definitely.
All right. Okay. Sam, first off, tell us something interesting about yourself.
Well, I my name is Ingrid Santa Maria. I'm 25 years old and I am a corporate professional. I started working right when I got off of college, and right now I am an assistant e-commerce manager in a local eyewear company. My hobbies include sports and arts, of course, because that's the family I was born into. I was an athlete when I was younger, and I did learn a little bit of the piano from my grandmother, of course. But right now, things that I do for fun, I actually got into yoga during this pandemic. I learned how to meditate, and another super fun thing that I enjoy doing right now is baking.
All right. Wow. I mean, there are a lot of things that's happening and things that you dabble on, um, even if it's a pandemic, and it's nice to see that. And thank you for sharing us those interests, and we will touch base on those things that you've mentioned earlier. But before we proceed, rather, oh, there's somebody watching from Lebanon. Hello.
Hello.
You know what? When I was younger, I would watch Channel Two, and around 3 p.m. Um, CCP would show their commercial, and they would flash her grandma's name, Ingrid Sala Santa Maria. So when this was pitched to me, and I asked, how is she related to Ingrid Santa Maria? And when I reached out to you and you said that you are her granddaughter, I was really amazed.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
All right.
I
Now that you've
really
mentioned, sorry, go.
I have a close relationship with my grandmother, and I've been watching her concerts ever since, like for my whole life. So I love that.
You know what? I envy you because you always have the best seats in the house.
The best what?
The best seats in the
Oh,
house.
of course.
I'm
My
just
cousins.
curious. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I keep on interrupting. I apologize. That's so sorry. What's your favorite piece that your grandmother would play to you, or you would play on the piano?
I personally cannot play on that level, but I love it when my grandma plays Rachmaninoff. It's so nice because just hearing the complexity of it, the hours, I think about all the hours she put into practicing and perfecting and memorizing each piece she performs without music sheets. And
Wow.
hearing her play Rachmaninoff is just showing her whole life's dedication to this art. And it's truly inspiring.
All right. I mean, it's nice to hear that at her age, I mean, your grandmother still shows a certain level of expertise and dexterity because I mean, you have to have very skillful hands to play that very complex piece. Now that we are dabbling about your childhood, tell us more about your childhood and your most or your oldest memory, your fondest memory of beauty pageants.
Actually, this is really close to my heart because when I was young, we used to have family dinners with my whole extended family on Sundays in my other grandmother's house in Teresita Palanca's house. And I had this great grandmother. Her name was Bita. We called her Bita, but her name was Chita Zeldayaga Arnaiz. And she always had her nails painted perfectly. She always had this perfect red manicure or French tip every single week we went to visit her. And I would sit on her bed and we would look at this huge photo. And it was a picture of a lady in a crown. And she was sitting on a seat. And there was a man standing beside her. And it turns out that my great grandmother, actually won I think it's called Miss Carnival. Like that was the Miss Philippines. Like she was the carnival queen in 1937. And that was really my first ever look into the world of pageantry. And at that, like it opened my eyes that, oh my gosh, there is beauty all around me and there is beauty within me from this history. And that's something I really hold close to my heart.
All right. You know what? I'm having goosebumps right now, and I can't even talk correctly. When you mentioned that you have a picture of a carnival queen earlier, before we're having this conversation backstage, is that I mean we're talking about how the stars are aligning, and you know what? It seems that stars are aligning for you, and I'm really excited for you because you have the background and you have the pedigree. Speaking of pedigree, you definitely we can't deny it. You came rather from a family of a respectable pedigree. We can even consider it as an old rich family. In the 60s, in the 70s, people from the Buena Familias would send their girls to beauty pageants. Case in point, Margie Moran and the Pandillos. Now there is a resurgence with you and Bella Ismael. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I think that now pageantry definitely has evolved, and there is such a big platform for real girls like us to tell our story and to share what it is we deeply care about. And pageantry does provide that platform for us to reach the audience that we want to inspire. And all of us girls, I think, care so deeply about these topics or these issues that we put ourselves out of our comfort zones to join these pageants. And that's a really nice thing for me because we are real girls who want to champion the things we advocate for.
All right. So how did your family react when you told them that, hey, I'm joining Miss Universe?
Well, in the beginning, it was really a challenge to get everybody on my side because, of course, being in the public eye, parents want, the best interest for their children. And of course, they wanted to protect me in the best way that they could. But eventually, when they saw that it really was a dream that I wanted to achieve, they realized the importance of supporting that dream. And right now, they're full support. I know my parents are watching this interview and all my other interviews. And I'm just so happy that they are always here for me in whatever it is I want to do.
All right. Take me back or take us back into that very moment when you decided that, yep, I'm going to sign up, I'm going to join.
So actually, this wasn't really in my plan to join a contest because I do have a day job. But the camp who I am with, my lovely camp mamas, reached out to me via Instagram, and they presented me with this opportunity to train to become possibly a candidate for Miss Universe. And at this point in my life, it wasn't something that I could say no to. It wasn't something that I could push back another year or two because for me, I felt that this is the time because I'm already finally a well-rounded person. If I did this any earlier, I wouldn't be able to do it with this level of confidence. So I'm just really happy that the camp just had that faith in me, even if as a newcomer, especially into this pageant world, they had the faith in me, and that helped me to really believe in myself. And now I'm doing this wholeheartedly, and I'm so, so excited.
Well, it's nice to hear that you're all in and you're all in to win it. No, I think we're getting sidetracked. Let me just go back and want to touch base on your educational background. So I know that you've graduated with Latin honors from De La Salle University. And how did your educational background help you into becoming the woman that you are right now and into your foray into pageantry?
Well, actually, I wasn't always that way. As when I was young, school was really, really hard for me, and I actually remember the first time I failed. It was a science test, and it was a major test. And I think I was in fourth or fifth grade, and I got like 14 over 45, and that was the first time I really felt like, oh my gosh, I am not in the right standard of what I should be, because my mother always drilled into my mind that education is so, so important. So what I did from that failure was I learned to surround myself with a group of friends and mentors who inspired me to become better. And eventually, when I moved into high school, I started becoming more responsible. I was a class officer. I got higher grades. And then in college was when I really tried so hard to become cum laude, and I did everything that I could. I studied photography because it was com art, so I said photography. I learned how to speak on the radio and to create TV shows, and just really all of these things inspired me to realize that education is the beginning. It is the foundation of everything. And with this education, I was equipped with the tools and the right words to be able to share about my story and to, talk about the things that I really do believe in. And until now, I really love learning. So I'll like read a self-help book, or sometimes I read vocabulary books, and just to continue to keep on bettering myself.
Okay. I hear you saying reading. So if little girls are watching right now, what would be the top three books that you would wish or you would want little girls to read early on?
Well, as a little girl, I was in school where I went to school. It was an all girls Catholic school, and they really had a very high regard for reading and literature and language. And in high school, I remember reading the book To Kill a Mockingbird. I really love that book. I remember in grade school we read Bridge to Terabithia, and we also, this wasn't in school, but I also read The Alchemist. And I think that these three books are very, very important in showing lessons of friendship, self-actualization, self-realization, and also, of course, learning how to fight for others.
Okay. Thank you. Let's have a recap. So what I heard was The Alchemist. The other one is To Kill a Mockingbird, and the last title was
Bridge to Terabithia.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that book, so I
You
cannot
can read it.
I cannot read it. But thank you. I will try that as soon as possible. Perhaps after this interview, if there's a PDF version of it, I will look for it and read right away. Thank
I'm
you.
sure this one.
All right. Gabby, as our son says, go Sam.
Hi, Gabby. Thank you so much for the support. She's one of my best friends.
And Chris's
Hello.
is saying go Sam Santamaria. Hi, Chris's.
Thank you so much.
Rocio Escaño say, let's go, Sammy.
That's Rocio. She's my cousin, also my best friend. Thank you, Rocio.
And Nicole Balago. Let's go.
All my best friends are here. Wow.
All
See,
right. Your support system is pouring. I mean, they're pouring their love to you, and we'll touch base on them later. I just also want to ask you, because earlier you mentioned, I believe, that you are or you were a student athlete, and your dad, was a professional basketball player. So how did it help you as a person? And again, how is it helping you currently in your Miss Universe journey? That is.
I actually wasn't the best athlete to begin with, and I started out as a bench player. Actually, I didn't even know how to dribble a ball at the start of my basketball career. And I guess you'll see here that my life is really a series of failures, hard work, and eventually success. Um, I was a bench player, and then I actually had to fill the role of a starting player because our star center had just left for a different country, and that shift from being just a supporting member to somebody who your teammates had to depend on for us to win championships was very, very difficult. I actually had to train so hard every single day to become stronger, to become faster, and to become better at the sport and reading the plays and understanding my teammates. And with all of their patience with me, that really pushed me, to become the best athlete that I could be. And that that grit, that determination that it takes, that winning mentality of having your eyes on the prize, really just I carry that with me throughout my entire life and everything that I do.
All right. It really shows how sports is embedded in your personality, in your psyche, and how it has developed you to the woman that you are. And thank you for sharing that with us. I also want to touch base on the fact that you've mentioned that you had 10 years of being a student leader or youth leader rather in your local community. Tell us more about it and what was your takeaway from it?
Well, when I was around 15 or 16 years old, one of my neighbors invited me to come to a youth meeting. And from the second that I got there, all I received were warm hugs and words of affirmation. But really, what made me stay was I had this mentor. Her name is Nini. Hi, Nini, if you're watching. Nini was there already in the community for 9 years at that point when she was mentoring me. And she told me how much this community has impacted her life. And that positive influence she had on me made me want to be exactly the same. I wanted to be that person for others as well, and that's also the reason why I stayed, and I am continuing to stay as a member of this community. And it really has changed my life, knowing that there are people who support me and that there are people who love me, and that no matter what, we will always have faith to keep us strong. Hello? Sorry, I can't hear. Is it my
I think
Wi-Fi?
sorry, my mic must muted. Sorry, my
Oh, okay.
mistake. My bad. All right, I apologize.
That's okay. No
My
worries.
question was, what was your how did leadership or what was your greatest takeaway in this leadership journey?
In this leadership journey, I really learned that to be a leader, you don't necessarily have to influence others. The best qualities for me of a leader is somebody who listens to others and somebody who learns from others. And through this whole experience, I've learned from all the children that I've taught, all the young people who just want to better themselves. And it's truly inspiring to be in awe of people that you're supposed to be teaching, if you get what I'm saying. And just it really, really warms my heart when I see people who are who are better off in their lives because I touched them. That's
All
all.
right. So what I hear is that you find fulfillment in the fact that by touching their lives in the simplest way you can, you're able to add up or to contribute to their improvement as a person or the betterment of their lives. Um,
Exactly.
all right, perfect. Now let's move to the next portion of this interview, which we will focus more on the pageantry side. Now, my first question to you is a very direct to the point question: are you here to win, or are you here just for the experience?
Well, coming into this pageantry world with no experience at all, everything in this journey is new to me. But I'm not the kind of girl who backs down from challenges. I'm somebody who applies 100, 110, 150% of myself in everything it is that I do. And, it would really be a shame for me to come here without that winning mindset. So definitely my eyes are on that crown.
Perfect. I'm very happy to hear that from you because aside from physical preparation, the rigors that you have to go through, the pasarela and the things, you really have to have the mindset. You really have to have the winning mindset. Because if you're not going to pour your efforts, I mean, all in, I mean, you're just wasting your time. And I'm really happy that you are really into it. You're really in it to win it. Um, Now, I also want to talk about the camp. So, I guess, I mean, part of your pageantry journey rather, is of course by the help of the camp. So, I want to use this time for us to recognize them, and I would like you to tell us um, the people behind your pageantry journey, specifically the camp, and how are they helping?
Wow, I don't even know where to start on that one. The camp has been so, so supportive in my pageantry journey. Without them, I definitely wouldn't be here today without all of their support and without all of their beliefs. So I fondly call them the mamas. And we have, I think, around 14 mamas, and each mama has their own special field where they help me. We have a mama, Doctrine, for my Q&A training. We have Mama Zico for my passerella training. Of course, we have Tita Dudes and Mama John, and we have Chrisas and Mama Elmo for personality development and social media handling. We have Papa Neil for my fitness, and all the other mamas and papas. There's Chris, Brad, and there's really like a lot more of them. The nice thing about the camp is whatever it is you need. Oh, and also Lola. Hi, Lola. I didn't forget you. Everything that you need talaga, they will provide for you. And as somebody coming into this for my first time, that's the most I could really ask for, people who truly listen to me, to listen to what it is that I need and help me find a way to get exactly what I need. So I'm
So,
really so appreciative to them. And of course, also my camp sisters. We can't forget Victoria Velasquez and Cristela Bello. And also Bella Ismael has helped me a lot through this. She's helped me with my passerella. She's really a gem. I love
I
everybody
think
in the camp. It's more of a family there.
with the way you discuss things and the way you relate things, it seems to me that you're really having a time of your life. And I'm really happy that you have different pillars based on a different strength that you need to work on. So, with regard to that, given the fact that you have a lot of things to work on, what do you think are your strengths, and what are the things that you need to work on come pageant time?
Well, I think that one of my strengths as a person really is my tenacity. I don't back down. I don't let anything tear me down. Once I am driven to do something, I will do everything that I can, to get that goal. And I'm also very, very particular about detail. I pay a lot of attention to every little detail that goes into this training for this pageantry. And another thing that I learned was my strength is my confidence. I've learned to believe in myself, and I've learned to put my mind to anything it is that I am doing. And it just helps me be open to learn all these new things. But for my weakness, I would definitely have to say what I had to work the hardest on was my passerella, because I was a very stiff person, coming into this as somebody who used to be a student athlete and somebody who really likes working out. Like I used to do CrossFit and things like that. I had no dance background at all. And it was very, very, very difficult for me to learn how to move my hips and to get my body to move in a feminine, flowy way. So that's really what I've been working the hardest on.
Thank you. I hear you saying the magic word passerella. So, without giving too much information, or revealing too much information, how would you describe your passerella? What is Sam's signature walk?
My signature walk is just reflective of who I am as a person. I would say that it is delicate yet strong. It's a little bit soft and a little bit kind, and I want my aura to be very friendly. So that's where the delicate part comes in. But also, as I said, I am very confident and I am very driven. And that's where the strong part comes in. So it's a combination of both.
All right, perfect. Now, what resonates for me is you really have the fighting spirit. In this pageant, there are only two possibilities: either you win or you lose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either you fail or you succeed. So with that in mind, let me ask you this question: when was the last time you failed? How was it, and what did you learn from it?
Well, sometimes I've been really investing myself into this pageantry journey. It's no secret that there's a lot of training. Every day there's something new that I need to learn, something new that I need to do. And in applying myself in this part of my life, sometimes I sort of neglect my relationships with my friends. I don't have enough time for them. And the thing that I really learned about that is that even if I'm not 100% there because I'm applying myself in my own part of my life, they're really still there to support me. And it super warms my heart because I can feel their love from everywhere, from all around the world, all my relatives, all my friends, everybody in my community, just all of them just really showed me that I don't need to do anything for them to love me, and that just allowed me to be more grateful for the friendships and the communities that I do have.
Isn't it amazing that because of this endeavor of yours, people whom you haven't seen for a long time have come together, have bonded together to support you for a common cause?
Really, it really, really, really warms my heart. I've never really had to ask for help or support for anything before, but now everybody is here for me, and it's just a reminder of how loved I truly am.
Matt Laurel says, watching from the UK. What's good, Sammy?
Hi, Maddie. That's my cousin. Oh, so sweet.
And
Thank you for tuning in.
Aaron James is watching from Thailand.
Wow, Thailand.
Sawadee
Hello.
krap.
Sawadika. Yeah, exactly.
Virgilio Redondo says he likes you. You're spontaneous and very articulate. I agree. I very much agree.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me that you can really see my authentic personality.
Um, so proud of you, Sammy from Neil Alan Dalida.
Hi, Papa Neil. Thank you so much. He's really helped me with my transformation. He's our fitness coach.
Yeah, it shows on his picture. It's very buff. Mon Sems, post masab. Oh, love you, Sam from Connecticut, USA. Mama Ems.
Wow.
Mom
Thank you
Ems.
so much. That's so sweet. All the way from
And
Connecticut. I used to live there when I was young.
nice.
Such a beautiful place.
Eric Santamaria Nubla says, watching from Makati.
Hi,
Makati
Eric.
represent.
Thank you so much for watching another one of my cousins. Everyone's so supportive.
Everyone, well, I mean, it's nice to see that your cousins and relatives are supporting, really is behind you all the way through this journey. Now, going back, conversely, when was the last time you succeeded, and what did you learn from it? What was your takeaway from it?
Well, for me, I don't think success is always has to be big. Sometimes there are small things that I can do every day, and that's my mindset. Even getting out of the bed in the morning is a success for me. So today I succeeded. I finished my work on time. I was able to get ready for this interview, and that mindset of having small wins every day really just teaches me to be grateful also for every normal everyday experiences and for the gift of life, and to be able to succeed further in life. I feel like we need to check off these little small successes in our bucket lists. Or our to-do lists rather, to be able to check off the bigger things.
I definitely agree with you. You know what? When you said that, the ability to wake up in the morning is already a success. I felt that. I really did. And then the other one is that I definitely agree in celebrating small wins. Sometimes we fail to see the success in mundane things, but what we fail to understand or to realize is that when these small wins aggregate, they add up to a bigger win. So I'm really happy that you reinforced that. All right. Let's move to your next question. So today we're still in the pandemic, right? And do you have any news if your pageant on the 25th of September would be a locked-in taping?
We
Any hints
actually
about that?
haven't been formally told anything about that yet, so we'll have to wait for word from the organization. But if it is, then I'll be ready for that.
All right. You mentioned ready. So just in case, for example, that you were left with no choice but do your hair and makeup, how do you plan to do it?
I will definitely. I want to keep my personality as the one that shines through rather than, cover my face and have distracting hair. I know that in the actual competition, my sisters will be there with me. So they're definitely, I'm going to be able to lean on them for support. But for me, if you're asking about my styling, I always want to do something clean, something sophisticated, something that really shows my true features versus covering them or distracting from them.
Thank you for sharing that. I know we already discussed about it this earlier before this live, but I mentioned to you that when I saw you, I remembered rather Miss Israel of Miss the 2019 Miss Universe edition. She's a fresh face. I mean, she's breaking the mold. Everybody's on their dressed to the T, very very pageantry makeup, but she came out with a very natural look, very fresh face. So you really remind me of her. And as I've mentioned, when I check your portfolio or your Instagram, the way you do your makeup, you remind me of Antea Bueno.
Those two are such big compliments to me. I just, you know, for me, it's all about showing who I truly am. And in my opinion, showing who I truly am is just simply highlighting my features. And that's exactly what you see on Instagram. That's exactly what you're going to see on the stage. That's exactly how you're going to see me as a person. What you see is what you get.
All right, terrific. We're still in the pandemic, so how are you preparing, or how's your physical and mental health state given the pandemic? With all the preparations that you have to go through, with the things that you have to juggle at work, how are you? How is Sam? How is Ingrid?
Well, it's not only me affected by this global health crisis. Obviously, the whole world is going through this, and we've been here for almost 2 years now. But what I really learned was how to lean on my community, how to lean on my family, how to lean on my friends for support. Because, every time I feel low, I know that I can count on them, not only to lift my spirits up, but to just be there for me. And I think that's the best thing that I can do for myself, especially considering my mental health. Because surrounding myself with positivity and love and encouragement really helps me to be able to have that good mental health so that I can focus on all the other physical aspects of training. The Q&A and the passerella, of course, and the body preparation that it takes to do this. So really just leaning on them has definitely been my source of strength.
I hear you saying earlier that if there's one thing about you, it's about your mental tenacity. So how did you train yourself to be at the level of mental tenacity that you have right now?
I don't think that I had to train myself to be in this level. I feel as though my whole life I've been living this way. Um, all the experiences that I've gone through, from being a student athlete to being a community leader to being a corporate professional to even just being a daughter and a friend and a cousin, all of these things have allowed me to apply myself in situations very, very differently. And it has allowed me to stay strong, that no matter what, at the end of the day, whatever people are going to say about you and like pull you apart, at the end of the day, there is that support system that I do look onto. And that support system helps me to bounce back, from every adversity. And truly, my tenacity comes from, my loved ones.
All right. So what I hear from you is that your support system, no, your mental tenacity is a function of your support system. It's a testament on how solid your support system is and how it helped you to become who you are right now. Not
Exactly.
all people have that luxury of having as such. So yeah, what we can say is we envy you, not in a negative way. It's just we hope that everybody would have the same level of support that you have, given the pandemic and given the difficult times that we have right now. Moving on to my next question, of course, what do you think are the threats or the challenges that you might face as you soldier on to this pageantry journey? What can hinder you from winning the crown?
Well, coming into this with zero experience. Really, everything is a challenge for me. I'm so new to all kinds of training and all kinds of things that I need to be to become a beauty queen. But all of this doesn't really hinder me. I don't look at them as challenges, but I look at them as motivation. I look at them as ways to apply myself more. And I look at them as, mental and physical training to become a holistically developed person.
All right. Terrific. My next question to you is, how far are you willing to go to win? How bad do you want to win, and how far are you willing to go? Let me be very blunt with you. I mean, we all know it's an open secret that currently in the beauty pageant industry that is, people would have to go under the knife. Are you willing to go that route as well?
For this journey, I've been doing every single thing that it takes. I've been pushing myself away from my comfort zones day in and day out. And I am wholeheartedly in this to win. For me, the fact that people want to go under the knife for this or want to conform to a certain mold and look a certain way, that's actually their decision. I support that decision if it makes you feel like a more confident woman. But personally, right now, if there is something that I wanted to change, then I would be open to doing so. But currently, I don't think that there's anything that I need to change as of the moment.
All right. So my follow-up question to you is, of course, are you willing to conform to the pageantry mold, or do you want to form your own mold? Form your own mold. Now that well, that's a mouthful.
Well, coming to this without any experience, I already broke the mold. There is no mold right now, and this opportunity presented itself to me as a journey to go on. And this journey, I'm going on it with a totally different mindset and a totally fresh perspective, and I plan to keep it that way. This is my journey, and I'm going to do it my way.
Perfect. I love that. Very well said. Now I believe in the power of vision. So Sam, let's do a vision exercise wherein I would like you to imagine this. For example, you won on September 25th, the Miss Universe Philippines crown, not the runner-up, but the top plug. How does that look like? I mean, imagine yourself winning the crown. How does that look like? How does the surrounding look?
Definitely, if I win, that would be more than just a dream come true for myself. That would mean that my advocacy and my platform will be shared with the world, and all of the noise, all of the comments, everything will just be blocked out, because winning that crown means that I will have a platform to say the things that I want to say, and I will have a platform to empower the youth. And that's just such a dream come true for all of us.
You mentioned again another magic word, which is platform, and advocacy. So now is the time for us to discuss what is Sam or Ingrid Santamaria's advocacy for, not necessarily for this pageant alone.
Well, I never really had to think of an advocacy because I've been living my advocacy all these years. I've been a community leader for the last 10 years, and I've realized that communities can bring about great change. So, with that, I want to be able to amplify the voices of the youth, and I want the youth to be able to use sport and art as tools to reimagine the world.
Okay. What I hear from you is you want to use sports and art, right, to better the interest of our kids. How would you know if what is your measure of success? How would you know if your advocacy has become successful?
Well, I would answer that first by saying success is individualistic. There isn't one definition for success for everybody to conform to. But for me, success is really doing something wholeheartedly and with intent. And as long as whatever it is that I'm doing, I can give my whole self to and have a positive, intention, then I already did succeed.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now we will move on to, since this is Miss Universe Philippines, and this is Miss Universe in general. We would have to go the route we're in. I'm going to ask you some questions from Miss Universe questions from the past, and I would like to know how you would answer it on your own. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, wait. Let me look at. I'm not ready because I lost my cheat sheet. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No
Let's begin
worries.
with the first question. The first question was from 2001, which was for Lara Data. Let's pretend that right now there's a protest going outside, calling the Miss Universe pageant disrespectful to women. Convince them they are wrong.
These days, modern pageantry really encourages holistic development in women. And more than that, it allows them a bigger platform to advocate for the causes they believe in. I believe that pageantry really does empower modern women to inspire.
All right. Moving on to 1994, the question to Sushmita sent. What do you think is the essence of being a woman, a Filipino woman, that is? To bring it closer to home.
In this male dominated world, I think that the essence of being a woman is really having the mindset that you are able to do anything that you want to achieve, but you can do anything with a heart of compassion and empathy.
All right. Empathy, check. I love that. 2001. If you could change one thing about your past, what could it be and why? Oh, sorry,
Well,
I jumped. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can answer the question. I'm sorry, I jumped two questions, but you can proceed. I apologize.
it's okay. If I could change one thing about the past, I would simply speak more kindly to myself. I was always very critical of myself when I was younger, but having that positive mindset has given me many great opportunities for growth.
I want to zero in on that. So, is it safe to say that what I'm hearing from you is words of affirmation? Given the chance, you would like to give yourself more words of affirmation in the past.
I would have, because the way that I viewed it, I viewed failures as things that defined me. And I realized later on in life that if you speak to your mind kindly, if you love yourself a lot, and if you just, instead of being negative, giving yourself positive affirmations really reflects in how you carry yourself and how your actions are. And just learning to love yourself really, really helps you become confident and believe in yourself.
So let's say you wake up in the morning. What are the words you say to yourself early in the morning?
I always, I don't know if this is weird, but I look in the mirror and I'm like, you know what? You are so strong. You have gone through so much, and yet you still carry yourself with grace. You still allow beauty from all around to inspire you. And because of that, you are enough.
Okay, thank you. I agree with you. We really have to be kind to ourselves. I mean, sometimes it's normal to be overthinking at times, but yeah, we really have to be kind to ourselves. I also want to ask you, what are your love languages, or what's your most dominant love language? Now that we're talking about in the lines of self affirmation or words of affirmation.
My dominant love language is actually quality time. And I think that really reflects in my personality because I love spending time with all of my friends and all of my cousins. Even if we just hang out and do nothing together, I find that that helps me feel loved.
Now that you're being pulled from all directions, being very busy currently, how would you compensate? How would you make time for? I mean, since or how would you make up for the lost times, given the fact that that's your main love language?
Actually, my friends are so supportive. They every time before I have an interview, they come over and they help me do my hair and makeup and fix my lighting. And before, when I would be the one to go over to their house, now it's their turn to come here naman. And it's so heartwarming that everybody's really just here to help me achieve this dream.
All right. As they say, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village, Merville village, to build a beauty queen. That is.
That is
All
so true.
right.
Thank you so much to Team Ingrid. I love you guys so, so much.
Okay, and sorry, I think let's take this time to acknowledge your fan club or your support system, and they're called Ingrid Universe, right?
Yes.
Do you
So
wanna give them some shout out right now, or
shout out to everybody behind Ingrid Universe. I know that all of you guys are working hard to put out content about me and spread to the world who Ingrid truly is. Thank you so much for all the support. Maraming salamat for all the love and for all the understanding, especially when I can't be the one to make it asikaso. All of you guys are there for me, and especially with the voting. Also, everybody has been voting for me every day since day one, and it's just like super super nakakataba talaga ng puso that all these people are here for me. And if you guys want to follow my socials, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Sam Santamaria, my fan account, which is Ingrid Universe, and also my Facebook page, because all of my friends and family work so so hard on that. So I would really appreciate the support to everyone watching.
Sam? I just have a question. Have you ever experienced uh, wherein somebody random would reach out to you, would message you, and tell you how much they support you and how much they want you to win the crown? How does that feel?
Actually, yes. A lot of people have been sliding into my DMs recently with so so much love and support. People I don't even know, random people who find me on TikTok or on Instagram, or people who find me from these interviews, and they always have positivity. I've never encountered past somebody who messaged me that's random that said anything bad about that, and I'm just so grateful that everybody is truly showing that aura of love and positivity, even if they don't know me, because I want to be that person that is everybody's friend. And I want them to know that they can reach out to me and that they, all their kind words are truly felt.
All right, perfect. Grace Double says she is ready for the crown, all caps, para with
Thank you so
feelings.
much, Grace.
And Robert Kaindok says, ang bongga ng sagot.
Thank you so much, Lola. You're so supportive. I'm so
And
happy
John
you're
says, ang bilis sumagot.
here. Thank you. I'm a communications major.
Pichi Jacob says, Sam is very intelligent and poised. I agree.
Thank you so, so, so much.
Justin Rose says, doing great, Sammy.
Thanks, Joss. She's one of the people behind Ingrid Universe.
Oh, thank you. Justin, thank you so much for helping Ingrid. Let's move on to another set of questions that I would like to ask you. From 1996, what do you think men can learn from women?
I think that men can learn not to look down on women simply because of their gender. There are so many things that can define us, and gender shouldn't be one of them that divides us. For example, our recent Olympic win, Heidelin Diaz, she is a female in a male-dominated sport who won the first gold, for weightlifting, and that's just truly inspiring. I hope it also inspires all those men to just, learn to have an atmosphere of respect for women.
Let's bring it closer to home. What can men basketball players learn from women basketball players?
Men's basketball and women's basketball is very, very different. Women are a little bit more catty when we play basketball. There's a lot more, I guess, instead of aggression, it's more of like women are like they swipe more. And for for a woman to say what can a man learn from a woman basketball player, I think it's really just the same. A woman basketball player and a male basketball player can really just, I think, learn from each other to keep on supporting their teammates, keep their eye on the goal, and that basketball is a team sport. So it isn't about being the best player on the court, but it's about being the best team so that you can get to the next level.
That resonated to me. I believe as well that um, it's a team sport. I mean, if if you only have a star player but you're not playing as a team, then you're not going to win. I definitely agree on that. You hit the nail on the head. My next question would be from 1997. If there were no rules in your life for one day and you can be outrageous, what would you do and
I
why?
would sleep the whole day. There are a lot of things that I'm doing right now, and sometimes I don't think I get enough rest. And I'm somebody who snoozes her alarm every single morning. If there were no rules, I would just not do anything and sleep all day.
Well, let's see. People say time is gold, but sleep is platinum. So, especially my age, I'm turning 40 in 3 years' time. I definitely agree that quality sleep is something that we would really pay for, would really put premium on. My next question would be from 2018 from Catriona Gray. What is the most important lesson you've learned in your life, and how will you apply it in your time as Miss Universe Philippines?
I've learned that nothing in life ever comes easy. I've learned to work hard for the things that I know I deserve. And this journey isn't any different from that. I just want to apply 110% of myself in every single thing that I do.
It really shows that, I mean, you were born. I mean, let's not deny it. You were born privileged. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, but yet you are showing people that, hey, I'm working hard for this. Nothing is given really, and nothing is given to you right away. So I'm really happy that you are, and I'm really proud that you are reinforcing that to people and saying people that just because you're born rich or you're born privileged, it doesn't mean that you're going to have things your way. Yes, things may be a little bit easier, but you still have to work hard for it. Nothing beats hard work.
Exactly.
All right. Let's move on to question from 2019. What should you be asking? What should we be teaching, rather, or asking young girls today?
I think today, one of the most important things we can ask young girls is truly to believe in themselves and to not be scared to do things because of their gender. I want young girls to know that you are enough.
Why is it important to say to girls that you are enough?
There's a lot of pressure right now in this world we live in, especially, well, if you're a young girl looking to foray into pageantry, there will always be somebody saying something about you and making you feel as though you aren't enough and that you aren't perfect. But if you know deep in your heart, if you believe in yourself and you know that you are working hard to achieve those goals, then all of those voices shouldn't matter.
Okay. Now let me tie that to this question. I guess you have encountered bashers, haven't you? So if you have, how do you deal with it? How did you deal with it, or how are you dealing with it?
I always say this every time, but if there are negative comments about me, I never let it stick to me. If I see or read or hear a negative comment, it's always in one ear and out the other. Because I know and I believe in my own capabilities. And I know that I'm not going to be perfect in the eyes of everyone. And that's not my goal. It's not my goal to be perfect for everyone. It's just my goal to be the Sam that I need to be able to achieve this dream.
Rabia Mateo, the current winner, mentioned that if there's one thing she would do differently, is that she would shut off her social media platform days before the competition. How do you feel about? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think that social media is definitely a double-edged sword. There are always going to be positive comments, but on the other end, there's going to be negativity and hate. And I personally am somebody who works in the digital industry and the web world, and I don't think that I would shut off mine just because I know how to compartmentalize my own thoughts. But if it's something that's going to be better for your mental health, not looking at all of those posts, then it's something I would encourage you to do. Whatever
Thank
is
you.
best for your health.
The key word here that resonates is compartmentalize. So it's really very important, and yeah, I agree with you. Really must, but it's a skill. Not all people have the ability or the talent to compartmentalize. So what is your tip? Give us one tip on how to best compartmentalize, I guess.
For me, since I am a corporate professional, I like to separate my work from my personal life. And that just goes with everything else. All the emotions I feel with negative comments or not the best feedback, I listen to it, see if there's some truth in it. And other than that, if it doesn't really affect me and if I think that I am doing okay in that aspect of my life, I really just Deadma. I let go of it. I don't hold negative thoughts in my heart anymore.
Okay. The power of Deadma. Got it. All right. Let's move on to another question, which is rather controversial because of the timeliness of the issue. This was the question from 2020. And the question reads: should countries lock down to, to COVID-19 despite the strain of their economies, or should they open their borders and risk potential increase on infection rates?
Well, between the two, especially in our situation, I don't think we are in the position to open our borders just yet. In my opinion, the utmost priority to move forward from this global health crisis really should be the safety of the people.
Okay. All right. My next question to you is: what makes you blush? That's from 2002. The question asked to the very beautiful Oksana Fedorova.
As I said earlier, I was never really in the position to ask anybody for support or help of any kind, but all the love that I've been receiving these past few days and weeks really is so overwhelming that I can't help but blush. I'm just so grateful for all of the love and support everyone's been showing me.
All right. Which brings me to my penultimate question. The question that was asked from Pia Wurtzbach: why should you be the next Miss Universe Philippines 2021?
Being your next Miss Universe isn't just for me the physical aspect of the crown, but what the crown represents for the people. And I want to use this platform to empower the youth and to inspire the new generations to use sport and art as tools to reimagine the world.
All right. Thank you so much. Very short, but very concise. Before I transition to my final question, let's take this time again for you to invite our viewers and your fans and your newly acquired fans because of this interview to follow your social media platforms.
First, I would really just like to say maraming salamat po sa lahat ng suporta niyo sa akin. Every like, every comment really goes a long way. All of the kind words you guys have shared to me, whether you know me or not, I carry them all in my heart. And it's so overwhelming to see that more and more people are seeing who I truly am and seeing that I really have a message that I want to share to the world and to empower the youth. And I want everybody to know that you guys are the reason that I'm doing this. If you are still interested to know more about me, you guys can follow me on my social media, on Instagram at Sam Santamaria. You can follow my fan accounts at Ingrid Universe and also on Instagram and on Facebook. And you guys can see more of my journey there.
All right. And for my final question, I'll do a Boy Abunda moment. Complete the sentence. I am Ingrid Santa Maria and I am ...
I am Ingrid Santamaria, and I am here to empower the youth to dream.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam, for spending almost an hour with us. It is a pleasure to speak with you, and I'm very happy to be given this chance to show people who you really are and have a glimpse of your thought process, your personality, and the things that you feel strongly about in terms of your advocacies and your overall training and preparation for Miss Universe Philippines 2021. On behalf of
one last super small favor, everybody here, can I please ask you guys to download the Miss Universe Philippines app and continue to vote for me, and so that we can progress onto the next level. I really want to make it into the top 75, and I know that with your help we can make it there.
Okay. Yes, I would like to echo Rocio's message. Please don't forget to vote for Sam's introduction video on the Miss Universe PH app. Anything
Thank
else
you,
you wanna say
Rocio.
to our fans, Sam?
I just want everybody to keep dreaming and to keep doing things that you love.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we just presented to you a very fresh, bubbly, and strong candidate for Miss Universe Philippines 2021. On behalf of Sash Factor, we would like to thank you for this opportunity to get to know you, and we wish you the very best in this endeavor.
Thank you
Sam,
so much
God
for
bless
having
you.
me, guys. I really, really appreciate it. This was a really nice and enlightening interview, and I loved all of the questions.
I appreciate that coming from you. And on behalf of Sash Factor, would like to say to everyone, thank you for watching and good night. Bye.